No one is ready when reality slaps harder than rumors. No one can really prepare for when the truth hidden all along comes to the surface like a raging tidal wave, flooding everything we once believed. And that morning, just when the sun had not even had time to touch the solar horizon, armies around the world screamed in unison. Not because of a new song, not because of the comeback announcement, but because of one word that emerged from the darkness of information: risod. Jungkook, the golden magnate who has always been known as modest, is suddenly associated with an ultra-luxurious risod hidden in the most exclusive area in Busan. A property that was never mentioned in interviews, was never plastered on his social media, and was never even discussed by the media until an anonymous whistleblower leaked it to the public through a dark forum. "This is not just a house," he wrote. "It is a symbol of power. Jungkook has a secret paradise that is even more expensive than the property belonging to the chaebol." Army trembled. The media supports. And analysts began to dig deeper than they ever did, as if the treasures of the entertainment world were hidden under the marble foundation of the risod. But why is this so electrifying? Because risod is not just about price. Not only because Italian architecture is brought intact to the heart of Korea. Not because of the infinity pool overlooking the sea, or the private elevator made of sapphire glass. But because of that risod has something much more disturbing, a hidden identity. Jungkook does not list this property in his name. Documents show a shell company based in the Virgin Islands as the official owner. However, in an in-depth investigation report, it was found traces of secret transactions, money transfers through special channels, to exclusive contracts that link the name JK7 Holdings, a mysterious entity that was never known to the public. With the property worth more than $27 million. And that's where it all exploded. Not only because of its monetary value, but because of the symbolism hidden behind the name JK7. The name Young is now believed to hold more secrets than have ever been revealed in BTS's entire journey. Is this the beginning of Jungkook's private business empire hidden from public view? Is this a slow step away from the music scene toward quiet power in the property world? Or is it part of something much bigger, something that not even the army itself understands? On Twitter, ARMY broke out. Some burst into tears, proud that the idol turned out to be much more powerful than they imagined. "He's a visionary," wrote a huge fan base from the Philippines. "So far we have only seen the surface." But others are hysterical in a different tone. "Why is he hiding this? Does he not believe in US?" wrote an army from Brazil. Another commented more sharply, "We love him for his simplicity. But this risod changed everything." And for some reason, the big hits remain silent. There is no official statement. There is no clarification. There is no objection. Even Jungkook himself didn't say a word on Weverse. It's as if everything was designed to be a puzzle. As if silence is part of the narrative. As if perhaps everything was never meant to be known to the public. However, whispers continued to spread. Some fans known as Sherlockstan began to unpack all the photos Jungkook had ever uploaded, looking for mirror images, glass reflections, or anything else that might show risod's interior. One of the most horrendous findings came from a Japanese army man who discovered that the ceiling design in one of Jungkook's old vlogs turned out to be identical to the exclusive design used in only one luxurious architectural project located right on top of the Haedong-Yeonggangsa cliff. Does this mean that Jungkook did live there, even when he said he was on leave from Spotlight? Was his every break from music actually an escape to that secret paradise? The mystery deepened when a former architect who worked for the project anonymously confessed to the media that his client was someone very famous. But the whole team had to sign an NDA for life. He also revealed that the property has a basement that is more than just a storage area. There is a soundproof studio, server room, and even a secret passage connected to a private garage on the side of the hill, he said in an exclusive confession to an investigative tabloid. What is Jungkook actually building? And even more disturbing is the fact that in one patent document registered by JK7 Holdings, there is a blueprint of a biometric security system designed not only for humans, but also animals. This led to speculation that the risod would not only be a private residence, but also a private experimental headquarters or a refuge for exotic animals that are not known to the public. Of course, all this is still conjecture. But as always, it is speculation that actually reinforces collective curiosity. Meanwhile, one of BTS's former stylists added another layer of mystery. In an unofficial live broadcast, he said, "I once saw Jungkook disappear for 3 whole days. We thought he was at his parents' house. But as it turned out, he took a private jet to a place that cannot even be named. Now I understand. The sentence became new fuel for the theory that developed on Reddit and Twitter. That Risod isn't just a place to live, it's Jungkook's new life control center. The second world. The second person. A meticulously constructed, discreet, and enigmatic identity. The army, who had thought they knew everything about Jungkook, now felt as if they had just met him again. Or rather, they begin to realize that maybe they never really knew him. And in the silence left by the agency and their idols, one big question continues to resonate. Who exactly is Jungkook, and why is he hiding such a magnificent world from the eyes of the world? The world changed overnight. Army no longer embraced a sense of pride alone, but began to be squeezed by uncertainty and inner turmoil. Jungkook, an idol who used to be so transparent in his simplicity and solitude, suddenly turns into an intimidating living puzzle. Behind the white stone walls and bulletproof glass of the magnificent Risso now resides a figure who knows who. More than 300,000 tweets appeared within 6 hours of the news. Hashtags #Jungkook Risod, #JK7 Holdings, to #Hidden Life JK dominate global trending. Fan forums become a battlefield between awe and suspicion. Some questioned, is this the same Jungkook who cried at the concert because he missed Army? Others replied bitterly, or do we know only the version that we are allowed to see? But what was most surprising was not the public reaction, it was the tacit reaction of industry circles. Several big names who had worked with Jungkook began deleting traces of their interactions on social media. The Milan-based interior designer, who was said to be involved in the Risod project, suddenly locked his Instagram account. The cybersecurity firm that provided the Risod security system suddenly deleted all of their portfolio content related to Korean clients. As if everyone was scared or forced to be silent. Then comes a name that has never been connected to Jungkook, Min Ji-won, an elite property lawyer who was once involved in the acquisition of important buildings in Seoul for a mysterious company called Six Rays. In an archive of property transactions, Min Ji-won's name was found as the legal person responsible for the purchase of land that is now known to be the location of Risso Jungkook. Surprisingly, the Six Rays company is also listed as one of the early investors in the Korean AI startup project, which is said to have ties to BTS through their NFT project in the past. Coincidence? Not according to observers. A former property analyst from Hong Kong revealed in an anonymous interview that this pattern of buying land and establishing Risod is not done like ordinary celebrities. It's like a pattern of buying property Russian oligarchs. Multilayered, anonymous, with safeguards that even governments cannot penetrate except with international courts. Then who exactly is protecting Jungkook? Or further, who does he protect with all this? One of the most disturbing statements came from a former vocal coach who had worked with Jungkook as a trainee. In a secret podcast leaked to the public, he said, she always had her own world. Even as a teenager, we thought he was just quiet. But now it dawned on me, he never really opened himself, just showing the illusion that we all want to see. The statement sparked an explosion of emotion among the army. Some began to dig back all the old footage, believing that all this time there were already hidden clues. Like a video cut from BTS's 2018 run, where Jungkook draws a dream house with a secret tunnel. At that time, it was considered funny. Now, it is considered as the initial blueprint of the real Risod.